Similar to Sisters, I think The Oval had another solid episode. Some interesting plot points to move the story along, new revelations made, things that still leave me baffled, but a straightforward episode nonetheless. Season 5, Episode 4. The title itself is very ironic, Coming Clean. Alright, now before going into the breakdown, please take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video, and hit subscribe. Please, I'm trying to make sure these oval videos get a lot of views, because the more views they get, the more likely I am to continue reviewing the season. Even though I think the season's great, but these numbers need to go up. But the opposite of up is, of course, down. And man, oh man, Sam was getting the beat down of a lifetime by those thugs that Priscilla hired to teach him a lesson. And look, I've said this a number of times. I have nothing against Priscilla's actress, who is great. I've seen her in a number of other projects, but if Tyler is going to stick with her being the Black Cruella de Vil for 4 seasons in a row, kill her off. Because Priscilla could be doing so much more than what she's doing. I think what ruined it is seeing how she acted when her and Bobby were alone. Pretty much, Priscilla is just all talk. All talk. Oh, I'm going to get with Bobby. He's a real man. And, you had a woman, and I'm going to get me a man too. And, a man of my own. Get him alone. What happened? Meek, timid, didn't want to have sex. Now you want to act all big and bad. That's why I give Simone so much credit. She's super naive, but guess what? At the very hint that Victoria was trying to come after her man, what did she do? She went to the White House and beat that ass. Priscilla's just been talking shit for 3 seasons, hasn't laid a finger on Victoria. This needs to stop. Get a dang divorce and end it. What is the point of even still being married? Have the man's, get the crap beat out of him, get his stuff, and never come back. She set herself up. Here's what Sam ought to do, aside from just leaving. Yeah, he was wrong, but this is just ridiculous. At this point, are they just going to continue to one-up each other in terms of getting revenge? Because at this point, one or both of them are going to die. She was stupid hiring these thugs. Yeah, okay, the thugs don't care. He's a federal agent. I have no doubt in my mind Sam has cameras in that house. He will probably identify each and every one of those guys and have them either arrested or killed. What he ought to do, and this is just me getting dark with it. Priscilla comes home from work, because she's like, yeah, if you see me at work, Sam, don't say nothing to me. Don't look at me. She's going to be smug about it too. She'll probably still try to flirt with Bobby in front of him. Here's what Sam ought to do. After a day of Priscilla walking around the White House, smug and whatnot, gets home from work. She opens the front door. One body in the living room. One body in the kitchen. A body in the bedroom. A body in the hallway. Who are these bodies? Each and every one of those thugs that beat Sam's ass. All of them dead. Just like when Kareem found not Barry in his bed when he got home from work dead. That's what Sam ought to do. Because I'm just beyond over this crap. Then to have all those goons pull guns on shit. Okay. And I bet they didn't have rubber bullets in them. So Priscilla, you're not big and bad. You ain't bad. Just end this stuff. It's stupid. So Sam leaves. All right. I'm confused as all hell, because apparently the body in the morgue is not Barry. The items that were found on the person are not Barry's, which I feel contradicts the season 4 finale when the police officer, remember that Nancy was being taken out on a stretcher. The officer stopped Richard and showed him some belongings. Wait, those are my sons. Well, we found a body and we need you to identify it. But now those items aren't Barry's. I have no idea what's going on here. Was this a roof situation where the Rakadushi got a person that favored the person whose death they fake orchestrated? So was the highest lying when he said they didn't kill Barry? I mean, he killed Barry? Is Barry dead or is he abducted? I'm not going to lie, I just kind of don't care at this point. Because this is a major plot twist that I don't feel was deserved, because the setup really had it where we thought, yeah, Barry's dead, but apparently he isn't. Now, I don't know what's next. I mean, Richard's begging the police officer, to help him out, but I'm surprised he didn't name drop the Rakadushi. I'm pretty sure he knows the name of this cult, so yeah. Huh. I don't know where Barry is. So Hunter wakes up shocked over the overdose, but also the fact that it's funny because Hunter kind of shook off the overdose, but at the same time, he was more shocked that Eli was the president now. So he tries to get up, but he's hooked up to all these machines. Like the doctor said, look, you're fine, but with the kidneys and whatnot and your blood pressure, you can't get up and about. So he passes out again, because remember, that other nurse doesn't know about the drugs or anything. She's kind of like the doctor's assistant. So as soon as she comes back in, it's like, what happened? Oh, presidents always want to work. And I'm like, not this guy. So over at Donald's house, Alonzo tells Donald about Alan and how he was the one that gave him the drugs. And Donald's trying to piece it all together because, oh, wait, Alan said that he gets drugs for me. And like, Alan, was he the one that laced the drugs? I don't know, sir. So after attempting to call Alan and not being able to reach him by the phone, well, Donald has Alonzo go out and try to find him. But remember, he's in jail. Lily comes downstairs and Donald asked the same damn question I did. What are you even still doing here? And Lily is definitely a recurring character this season, not a main one, because since she's not in the opening title sequence, she's added to like the end credits of the episode. So for like cameo appearances. And I asked the same thing, like, why are you even still here? You could have just left. But she didn't know Donald was not going to get killed that night. So she could have easily said, well, I came back because, well, if I didn't, you probably would have tried to track me down or threatened to kill my family if I didn't come back. So do you want me here or not? Because if I were Donald, then let her go. I mean, you could say, I'll let you go. But remember, if you blab your mouth to the press or anything about me or the White House, I'll have you and your family killed. But I don't know. Donald was asking the same question as me. Why the hell did you come back? They had the little banter, just like Hunter and Victoria do. And that's pretty much it. He says he has the guest room instead of Lily, but that's all. So from there, Alan is in the jail cell with that guy who's placed in there to kill him. And he pretty much tries to make a deal. Like, look, I can come up with the money for that coke that was lost, like 300 grand. I can make it happen. But pretty much, the guy doesn't buy it. And he says, you know what? I need to lay down and rest because I got to get in the mindset to kill. And then later on, when he wakes up, Alan's like, you know what, Bumper, you want to try to come at me, come at me. So he grabs a pillow as a shield. The guy lunges at him, and then the fight breaks out. And they cut scene. We go over to Max and Kyle. I mean, the Oval can be just summed up by banter. A lot of times we cut away to characters. They just have the usual back and forth. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's pretty predictable. You kind of know what to expect with the Oval. You got Max and Kyle outside of Hunter's room. You got Bobby and another unnamed guard downstairs of the residency while Eli goes up to be with Victoria. And Bobby and Max are on a private line that Kyle doesn't know about. And, Max is wondering, like, why the hell is the vice president up at the residency for? And from there, again, Kyle, Max have their usual banter about, I'm going to kill you. Well, I like you, right? And it's like, no hard feelings and yada, yada, yada. And look, I'm not trying to half-ass the review, but if you watch the show, you know what to expect. Going back over to the residency, Victoria and Eli have a drink. I like the lighting in this scene. It seems like it's been a while since we had a scene where characters were just chilling in the residency. So Eli and Victoria have a drink and they bask in the glory that their plan has been coming together. And it turns out Victoria orchestrated the entire thing. They go into the bedroom and Victoria pretty much details it all. Everything down from Alonzo getting the drugs, Alan having them laced. And it all leads back to her finding out about Sharon, the girl that works at the pharmacy, and then the pharmacy being a front for a drug operation that Hunter usually gets his quote unquote prescriptions from by one of his agents. She pretty much put everything in place so each domino would fall on the other, leading up to getting rid of Hunter. So having him overdose was her grand plan all along, which is pretty impressive, but definitely Veronica Harrington level. But my biggest question is, how does her father feel about this? Does he know about what's going on? And now the big plan is trying to have Hunter moved. That way Victoria can get close to him to try to off him the way that she attempted to off Jason. So when the conversation shifts gears to, okay, we're talking a lot. We need to make love right now because in the morning we need to announce to the world that you're the new president. So they start getting on. Hunter comes in. What the hell? And that's the end of the episode. But only a couple more things to talk about here. Poor Dale, held at gunpoint by Kareem's cousin, is taken to the pharmacy, and he wants to know the names of everyone who got a order that day. Dale reads off the list, and each and every name makes him flip out more and more. And he pretty much figures out that everybody that got those drugs, well, they're dead because they overdosed. Which doesn't make sense to me, because when Alan called the guy, didn't he call Kareem's cousin to get the drugs laced? I forgot who the guy was. I thought it was Kareem's cousin, but was every single order laced with fentanyl, or that one order that Alonzo went to pick up? But regardless, if everything was laced, everybody that got an order that day is dead. And it makes sense too, because Hunter survived because he's the president. He has the best medical care ever. So everyone else who took those drugs, not so lucky. Not to mention everybody who got an order, who's to say they didn't, get other people a hit as well. So a lot of people can be dead all because of Alan trying to get back at Hunter. And the even worse is the fact that, kind of like the guy in Alan's cell, he's like, look, I don't want to do this, but they threatened my family. If I don't kill you, my family's going to die. So I got to do what I got to do and have you killed. So I'm going to shank you. So now the cartel is going to be after Dale, since Kareem's cousin sent a photo to him, and he's like, I'm sorry. And then he just bounces. So now Dale will definitely go over to Alan's place to get that box on the refrigerator in his kitchen, because apparently that's going to be something to protect them. I don't know. But regardless, Dale is yet again the target of a group of people who are very dangerous. Probably the Rakadushi that ran him out of town, and now it's going to be this cartel that's after him. So then we round things out with Nancy in the hospital. She's pretty much, able to go home according to the doctor, provided that she's, under surveillance, basically somebody to watch after her until she comes down from that high. But Richard comes in smiling, seeing his wife just, I guess you could say talkative, but I think it also comes from the fact that, that wasn't Barry's dead body in there. So there's hope he's still alive. But Nancy just runs her mouth a bit too much, going into detail about her affair with Clarence, Richard's father. And, Richard's like, how many times did y'all have sex? And she said, a lot. Clarence is bigger than you, and he's better at sex than you, and I was in love with him, Richard, and I wanted to be with him, but we had to break things off before you got home. He wanted to quit it because he didn't want to hurt you. And then she digs the knife in further by saying that she really only stayed with Richard because, hey, she couldn't be with Clarence, but being with Richard meant that Clarence would kind of still be around. But on top of that, the fact that she also stayed because she felt sorry for Richard. I mean, at first she said, this was back a couple seasons ago, that she agreed to, whatever sexual things Richard wanted, and, trying to be the best wife possible to make up for her mistake. But now it's like, I pitied you, which is just sad. And Richard even called Priscilla because, he can't even be around Nancy right now. Basically, Nancy just said too much. Can you pick her up and let her stay at your house for a little while, because this is too much for me. And that's basically where the episode, closes out the review. So what did you think of Coming Clean? I thought it was a pretty solid episode along with Sisters. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.